Oh my
Game
God.
is, the more I like it, especially when you combine it with the awesome soundtrack and the goofy magnet and roller skating. I mean, what's cooler than that? Um, I like simple games that have a good choreography, and this game totally does that. The way the light shows are just so intense, the game
Mhm.
flows really nice, like most Steve Ritchie games do. Um, and that super satisfying side ramp shot. Who doesn't love that?
Yeah, explain that side ramp shot because some people haven't played roller games, and I don't know if this function is on many other games, if any at all. But can you break down that the whole it comes around the side after you go for the wall, and then your ball stops there? How does it stop there? And then it tells you not to flip, and then tells you
Yeah.
when to flip.
So there's a setup where you can light the magnet, which will shine here on this up kicker. So you'll nail the ball in the up kicker when magnet's lit. It'll shoot it up and over to the right orbit. And then as it comes down, this magnet right here energizes and holds the ball. You get a great audio line, don't flip,
Don't
stay for a
flip.
second, flip. And then it stages the ball, so a perfect shot will make it come right up here for a lock shot or a jackpot, depending on what you have lit in the game.
Does that mech ever mess up? Do you have to like adjust it, fine tune it so it actually hits that shot right? Like after a while, does it wear out to where when you flip right at the right time and it doesn't go up that ramp?
Yeah, I mean, you need to have a good, strong flipper without a lot of slop in the linkage. When I got this game, the shot was almost unmakeable unless you got just the perfect setup. But I rebuilt the flippers and it makes that shot reliably every time now. The other maintenance you have to do sometimes is with the magnet that actually sticks above the playfield. Sometimes they get worn down so much that you end up having a big divot, and that's where a lot of this kind of planking damage comes from. This game had a factory, or not factory, but probably an operator installed piece of Mylar. Um, if the camera can pick it up, there's a plastic layer that covers up a lot of the playfield surface. And it's a really good way to keep the finish of the game intact. The problem is sometimes they'll start peeling, and then you'll start having this gross piece of plastic that's bubbling and peeling off your playfield.
Oh no.
Thankfully, this one's in pretty good shape, and I intend to keep the Mylar on the playfield because it is a very, very good way to, continue having a good surface on the playfield.
Mylar up. Indeed. Chris Pink 25 on Twitch asked if it's a similar magnet to Dirty Harry thimble. I'm not sure.
This one I believe is pretty unique. I actually bought this game without the magnet coil.
So we're lifting it up, looking inside.
Yeah, let's take a look.
This is Kyle's
The
favorite
actual
part.
magnet itself is it's more shaped like a coil. I don't have the ability to bring the camera too close. Let's see. One sec.
Rob Almond said that he sucks at his side ramp shots and it's his pinball kryptonite, and he appreciates the help of a magnet. I agree. They should have added a magnet on any time there's a side flipper, upper side flipper to tell you when not to flip and when to flip. That would make me
Absolutely.
a lot better player.
I like it. This you can see just how tight quarters this entire area of the playfield is you have this lower diverter here to either lock the ball or send it back to the in lane. You've got your upper flipper mechanism right here, and then you have the magnet coil, the magnet core, and then the bracket right here.
Can you go in even tighter to that?
What's
I
up?
wonder, can the camera go even tighter into that magnet coil thing?
Maybe.
Oh, you're tethered. Oh, nice close. Yeah. Give us that close-up shot. Wow.
Yeah, so it's different. A lot of the later games, like I think you mentioned Dirty Harry. Dirty Harry used more of a pancake.
No, the fourth wall has been broken. All right, checking our audio settings. How do we sound? Our wonderful PinTech class.
Is there really a fourth wall? I mean, everyone knows that you're just like sitting in your house and like We're just hanging out with pinball games. Like, come on.
I know, right? Well, let's start.
On which side of the fourth wall?
Shall we?
The correct or the wrong side?
Hello, everybody. Welcome
no.
to episode 19. Where is Kyle? Kyle, you're not even in the shot.
I'm looking at everyone using that terrifying emoji. It's so scary.
Oh, isn't that great? Let's get you in the wide.
What's up, y'all?
So, what you guys just witnessed a little bit earlier was our very first PinTech live episode. I'm just going to cut to it again real quick, but turn off the sound. Look at the difference. I think we've grown, right?
Am I wearing the same shirt?
I am too. Yep, we're both wearing the same shirt.
Amazing.
You know, we only... This is the only shirt I own. And we have Rollergames back from our original studio right here.
Original studio? You mean like my extra bedroom?
We got better cameras, better layout. I'm much smaller in this layout, which is nice.
Better acoustics?
We have our product screen. Yep.
It's not
Nice
just
lighting.
like a hardwood floor with nothing in it except for 2 pinball machines. It's pretty cool.
Elusive Ninja says TNA needs an air horn. Change my mind, Kyle.
I don't know, but yes. I mean, that sounds fun. That sounds really cool. I'm all for air horns. That sounds like a good time.
So fast. We're trying. I got this weird like negative space here. This is if I use hand movements. I gotta go slow because my virtual green screen.
You don't want to break that fourth wall?
Thanks for joining us for another wonderful, this is week 19 of our PinTech Live series.
Wow.
Rollergames is back. 19 weeks ago, we were doing flipper rebuilds on this. We did a drop target swap out.
Yep.
All that's archived on YouTube. So if you want to see that type of content, please check out our YouTube channel. And now Kyle is going to figure out what is left to get Rollergames up and running so then we can play it on Marco After Hours.
Yeah. I'm excited. I love this game. This is
Yeah.
one of my favorite games. But we had a big problem. The biggest reason we stopped was the ramp. This is not the ramp that was in this game. This is another ramp. I found a nice new old stock ramp that I am going to be using in the game currently, but what we bought this game for was we wanted to recreate some pieces that are commonly worn out on this game. So you've got your diverter mechanism at the top that sends the ball down one of the paths. This link right here, this thing gets like super blown out. So I got these reproduced, and I also have this unique coil stop redone too. This coil stop has has a threaded side on the top because the screws go in through the back. So it's got a unique mounting situation, but it's also rather long. There's a really complicated service bulletin that Williams put out about upgrading this unit that involved changing the coil, changing a spring, removing a spring, and using a different length plunger and stop. It was kind of crazy. So about half the games had the updated set, and the rest of them did not. So I wanted to make sure all the correct parts were reproduced. So when yours breaks, which it inevitably will, the coil stops do come loose. Hey, you have new parts, so should be pretty cool. So
yeah, that is a big ramp.
yeah, it's a ridiculous ramp. I've really been trying to get this ramp remade too, but a lot of the people that make ramps just are not interested in this. Well, not interested. It's just it's a big ramp, and it takes a lot of fancy vacuum form equipment, right? Like, it's not only big, but look how tall it is, right? It's from here like all the way to here, where most ramps don't span that kind of elevation. So not only is it rather tall, it's super, super wide. So it's kind of goofy. But it's clean. It's real nice.
Yes, the wall of death.
The wall
Gotta go
of
up the
death.
wall. Go for the wall.
So the only thing that's wrong with this ramp, again, this is like a new old stock ramp. But this spring steel flap is a little discolored. That could be adhesive damage, but I'm going to try to novice it out, but I'm not too worried. I don't care that it looks that way. It's going to play great either way. So yeah, we're going to install this guy today because then that'll allow us to put the mess of other wire forms back onto the game. So that's where we're going to start. I just thought of something though. Because of the way my old ramp, let's bring this back up again for the 100th time.
It's so cool. Yeah, bring it back up.
This ramp is like always blown up. They're always blown out right here. So you'll find the ball hits this section, and this side's it's actually broken. This one's not perfect, but it'll do. But my ramp in my game was so blown out, there was a couple centimeters like missing from this section, and this whole section down here was just gone. So this spring steel flap rivets to the bottom of the ramp. So the way that the people had this ramp installed in the game was they like used drywall screws to drive it into the playfield. And I just thought about this, so I want to go walk to that corner behind the camera and grab my dowel because I do want to fill the blown out screws so we can use the correct number 4 by 1/2 inch screw to secure the ramp.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Very cool. So while Kyle gets that all set up, just a friendly reminder to y'all. You see our little truck, our fancy free shipping code, 24-hour code. We don't have a 24-hour code today because we are doing a much bigger promotion till Sunday. It's the same free domestic ground shipping for orders over $99. And the code for that is PIN labor because you should get your parts in now. So then on Labor Day weekend, if you are lucky enough to have that Monday off, then you can spend time working on your pins or playing them.
Do we get
both,
that day off?
Hopefully.
Cool. We do get that day off.
Yes, and just a reminder to all of you, Marco will be closed on Monday, September 7th. So instead of doing a Labor Day sale, which is a more traditional marketing format, we wanted to let you guys get your parts before Labor Day weekend so you can use that extended holiday, to spend time with your games.
Spend
That's what we'll
time.
be doing.
Fix some
I
games.
just ordered a bunch of stuff for my game.
Did you
That
get
finally came in stock.
Did you get a varistor and a line filter?
I did not get a line filter. I have the varistors.
Oh yeah. We were doing some late night troubleshooting on Emoto's hardbody. Actually, let's talk
Yes.
about that for a minute while I whittle this dowel down just a teeny bit. Did you get that game working?
No, so
Oh.
right now my game just randomly blows the main power fuse after an hour or so of gameplay. So I'm trying to figure out what is causing that. My next step is to put a camera over the playfield and record playing until it blows again, and then I can see what's actually making it pop. I'm not sure why. It's the correct fuse in there. We've checked other things, and yeah, I don't know.
It's old and
I don't
grumpy.
know. But what I did buy is new springs for my shooter rod, which were very, very rusty,
Oh, nice.
and some fresh balls.
Very important.
Yep, I was looking at my balls, and they were very dirty. So I want clean balls.
What a shame. What a shame.
We all deserve to have clean balls.
We do.
So now's a great time to get some clean balls by using the PIN labor code.
Yeah, clean them up. Clean your act up.
Yeah, balls should always be clean.
Okay, let's end this.
Always.
I'm gonna get the innuendo's getting way too strong, in a good way.
I'm talking
But
about pinballs.
I know.
Okay, so that's a cool dowel. So let's talk about what you're doing here, Kyle.
Maybe that could be like the only time that
It's
sentence
pinball.
has ever
Everything
been
is an
spoken.
innuendo in pinball. It can't be helped.
That's
but-
a cool dowel.
You're doing a little castration of your dowel.
Oh my
there
god.
it
Okay.
goes.
End the stream. I'm going home. No, I was kidding. Yeah, we're just filling holes. I know we did this once on some game somewhere. Maybe I think we did it on Lady Luck, where we were using the
Yes.
dowel to put a little bit of wood glue, stick it in the hole to fill in a blown out hole that was either like damaged from the ball striking it or some monster putting drywall screws into the playfield. It's insane what people think is a good solution, but I guess if it works, it works. I don't like it. So yeah, roller games. So what I have here is I did bring the playfield forward a bit. I took it up and out of its captive bit. The older Williams games did not have the ability to slide forward, so they just pivot on a solid point. So I do have it lifted out. I am going to very, 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 very slightly precariously prop it up with this 2x6 I found. And that will give me a little bit of space back here to be able to install the ramp. Before I had to use like my micro screwdriver, which does not allow you to have any torque, and it took forever to get the ramp out. So I figured upon installation, we could use something a little more substantial. I just found the small screwdriver. I'm hoping I'll be able to use like something a lot bigger than this teeny.
Oh my gosh,
thing
he's so
here.
tiny.
It's really small. But but getting this in here is, yeah.
Sometimes
Anyways,
you need to go small.
it's nice when you got the right screwdriver for the job, you know?
I said.
I'm trying to find another
Yes, you
screwdriver.
can use a stack of toothpicks. That could work.
What's up?
For best on-site fix, toothpick from the bar from Elusive Ninja.
Oh yeah, and someone kept-
Chopsticks. Someone mentioned
Yep,
chopsticks.
that's the one
before.
I wanted to mention because I thought chopsticks was like really awesome. So let's see. It's been a long time since we've touched this game, and I really want to. I have to go grab my plastics over here.
Yeah,
I want to
while
make
you
sure.
grab that, have you made those pinball circuit breakers yet?
No, I still need to
We're
find
getting
them for a good
requests.
price.
Yep. Pinball 122 wants a 1 amp, a 3 amp, a 5, and a 10, please, as soon as possible.
Those are okay. As soon as I find time to actually do that kind of fun stuff at work,
Oh, no.
I will absolutely try to make that happen sooner than later. I think that would be a really fun tool to have. So I will try to get those out to the world. And you can have like genuine blown fuses that come from my own pinball machines. I hope that will be worthy.
Oh, yeah. We might have to up the cost on that. Oh, yeah. Mayor Court says, I'd love to see the arcade roller games next to pinball roller games, next to a TV playing the show roller games. Yeah, like a roller games themed exhibit.
Yeah.
I'm all for that, too.
That would be really awesome. I thought it was funny. I did tell my mother that I had purchased another game at some point, and she was like, "What is it?" And I was like, "It's called Rollergames." And she's like, "Oh yeah, like the TV show." And I was like, "How did you know? Why is that something you remembered?" But I don't know. It's pretty cool. Roller Games
Wow.
is great.
Kyle, there's a Black Cat Pinball 1 on Twitch. Is that you?
No, I
So
on
Black-
Twitch. I think
Black
I'm just
Cat
black.
Pinball is Kyle on Twitch. This person is Black Cat Pinball 1 asking about the international shipping rate. It is in the works. I promise you, you'll see something in September. We're going to do a huge notification to all of our international customers, as well as a fun deal.
Yeah.
You know, our domestic customers get to take advantage of this awesome free shipping 99 code, but we will have something for you guys soon.
Yeah, but for the international
Promise.
customers, there's something
Top
really
priority for us right now.
amazing on its way. I've seen the numbers, and they're incredible, and I think you guys will be very happy about it. I really want to talk about it, but I think it's best
It will
to
be
like.
better than what it is right now.
It not only will be
That's
better
the
than it
safest
is
way
right
to
now,
be.
it'll be like way better. So, just wait.
Yeah.
I did find the plastic that was supposed to go up here.
And Excellent.
I was using which cameras are on right now? Hey, throw this.
Black Cat Pinball in Sweden. That's awesome. Kyle, you need to make a trip over there.
Yeah, I do. I need to go visit the Nordic countries again. I could go hang out with Per in Norway. I could go make a trip to Sweden and see some of my pals over there. Yeah, no, that sounds incredible. Let's do it. I'm gonna get this plastic reinstalled here. I noticed that this thing there was a lone stud sitting here and it just didn't look right. So I did find a plastic that fits here. This is weird because generally I'll never let a game sit apart this long. So bear with me as we kind of try to remember how this goes back together. It's always fun, you know, joggle your memory a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. We've all been wanting to get Rollergames back in the studio. So thank you to all of our PinTech students in the chat room. Everyone rallied together and it motivated Kyle and the team to drop everything they were doing this week in the chaos of this week and get this game over to the Marco studio. So
my cats are really pissed off though. They really like sitting on top of the game.
They make great toppers.
They are. It's literally the best pinball topper. Okay, so this ramp is ginormous, and it sits like this far. So there's another plastic that goes here. I think there's something that goes here, and there is something that goes there. I want to try to get all this stuff on before we throw the ramp on, because at that point, this is like very inaccessible again, and it's not fun to take this ramp off. Like I said, I had to I took the playfield up and pulled it forward a bit to be able to have better access. So it's always in your best interest to kind of do all this stuff at one time when it's all apart.
And if you can't, now is a great reminder to say, take pictures. Almost everyone has a camera right at their fingertips with their cell phone. A few pics of your playfield, top and bottom, could really save so much time in the future, because sometimes you do have to walk away from your repair project, and
then you don't have to be like
guessing.
me, guessing. I'm gonna put a washer here because this hole's kind of blown out. Not
Cat
every
pictures
hole
are good too.
or not every plastic or nut spot on a plastic gets a washer. I'll generally put washers on places that need to be reinforced, like the slingshots. These ones don't have any on them right now. But sometimes the holes on these old 80s Williams games, they kind of get blown out. And you'll notice that like the hex post that the plastic sits on can kind of like slip on either side of it. At that point, I like to put a washer on it to keep it nice and tight. On both sides, underneath and on top possibly. Let's see. I think I have one more piece of plastic that maybe goes here. That does line up.
Wisp, welcome.
Okay, that doesn't look, I mean, it looks weird, but it doesn't look wrong. So I'm gonna say, go for it. This game was plagued with like a lot of incorrect screws in places, or like screws that were way too long in certain places as well. I'm not going to be reusing those. I actually got a couple new screws over here that I'm going to be using to install. If you struggle taking a screw out of a game, don't reuse it. It's not worth your time to use like a blown out hex head screw, or a Phillips head screw. Let's see. Let me see if I can find an example. On these Williams games, a lot of the screws that you would find installed are going to be this, a washer head, a SEMS, and I guess this is another common piece of hardware. Let's do a little bit of a hardware school.
All right.
This kind of screw here, which is also kind of blown out. You see that head, how it's kind of ripped up further away?
Mm-hmm.
Like this. So this guy, it's called a washer head screw. It's got a dome, but it's also really wide. These are commonly found on Williams games. I don't know what specific application they'd use washer head screws on a lot of the time, but you do find them. A lot of the times, actually, You will find these on top of like ball gates and stuff like that. But at the same time, like, really the most common used screw, and you'd want to replace it with these anyways, are SEMS head screws. I don't remember what SEMS stands for, but it is a Phillips head screw that has like an encapsulated lock washer. A lot of times these would be used to install on top of metal things. So this lock washer would hold the screw in place, right? So it would have a washer underneath it, and then go onto a plastic or something like that to really hold it in place. These are really commonly found on mechanical assemblies too. It is important to use the right hardware. So, you know, just because it's a Phillips head doesn't necessarily mean you can replace it with any other Phillips head. I like to really replace everything with a SEMS head screw if it is practical. Again, you might not want to use this like really coarse lock washer on the bottom of this screw on a plastic. It'll scratch it up, you know, again, which is why washers exist. Another important piece of hardware is an elastic stop nut. It's just a regular nut that has a piece of nylon or something in the top that'll help hold it in place. The nylon goes in and grips the threads, right? So it under vibration and stuff like that, it won't want to like start backing off. It's easy. So these are really good. You find them all over the place on pinball games, and it's always great to have a bunch of these on hand. Number 8 and number 6 lock nuts.
Awesome.
There's a whole episode we need to do on like hardware at some point. I need to write something down.
It would be great to combine that with your toolbox episode.
That would be fun. I agree.
Yeah.
I need to dump this out, but I have like no room on my workbench here. What I'm looking for is a couple number 6, like short number 6 SEM screws. I think I just found 2 like 1/4 inchers that look okay to hold this plastic down. Let's see. I'll find a washer here real quick. Don't throw hardware away unless it's like really bad. It's always great to have like a massive selection of like decent hardware to choose from, so you don't always have to make like little hardware orders from us or going to the hardware store or something like that. When you start working on pinball games enough, you'll notice like maybe you don't want to put this like really, really nice game together with like a kind of a dull screw, but you know, keep the thing. Maybe you'll find an application for it later. And that's what I do, and I have a giant box of misfit screws.
Nice. Never know when they'll come in handy. Hey, it's me, Dusty. Had a great addition to the taking the pictures to remember where stuff goes. He said, and for pictures, it's faster to take short videos where you rotate around the thing. So when you use the timeline scrubber, it's like you have a 360-degree 3D model you can explore with. So yeah, videos too. Then you could just be like, here's the playfield and mech, and you can really see where everything is.
Yeah, videos
placed.
are nice because you can get in there and do like a, also
awesome.
like you'll get like an elevation view also. So you don't just, you know, sometimes I find I'll take all the pictures in the world, but I don't have the correct angle. So sometimes when you're taking a video and you're like, this, and then you move down and around, and that can be really helpful. I think the video thing is a great idea. Again, especially since we have like amazing video cameras in our pockets all the time now, so it only makes sense. Okay, I think we've got all the plastics on. There is a tall screw here, but I think one of the wire forms mounts onto this stud. I think we're cool to put this ramp back in. Let's see, I'm gonna come on this side because we do have to put the wiring loom. We've got our switches here on this long connector, and we've got our flashers and solenoids on this connector.
Nice.
There is
Hey, Captain Retro, welcome, welcome.
big giant hole.
We are reassembling a Rollergames.
Yeah.
We premiered this game on our very first PinTech episode back in March.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And here we are, finishing it up. That looks very complex.
Wow. It looks more like Rollergames now with a gigantic ramp in the back.
Nice.
Let's see here. I'm going to use this. I've got some new screws. The ramp mounts to a bunch of like standoffs that are in the back of the game. I will be using some washers for this, so I might. Sorry, I'm stepping off camera again. I need a bigger table. Let me. Oh, here we go. Are these big enough? Yes.
Captain Retro wants to know if Marco's hiring. He spends so much money, he might as well grab a job and get that employee discount. Well, I will say that if you are spending that much money, then perhaps it's time to upgrade you to a commercial account, in which case you do get discounts based off of how much money you spend each year. So if you think you might qualify for that, shoot us a message and we'll take a look at it. Yes. I think it's written on the site. If you click the pinball technician database, let's see. I think you have to spend $2,000 a year
to qualify for the first
tier. You can
tier.
Get a 5% discount. You spend $5,000 a year, you could receive up to a 10% discount on all your parts.
But
yeah, Elusive Ninja should be at a commercial account by now too. He's the owner of Hideaway Arcade.
Let's see.
Out in north of Phoenix. I always forget the name of that city.
Prescott.
Prescott, yeah.
And then you get real north of Phoenix, and you get to.
Or bulk all your orders for every Thursday, so you can take advantage of our free shipping 99 code.
This is the fun part where you get to do things only by feel. If I would have thought about this, I would have got a 2x4 or something, and I would have like lifted the entire play field up.
Oh yeah, my head's blocking this crazy.
Yeah, maybe that's not the best one to use.
This is not the safest way to do this.
No, absolutely not.
Remind everyone.
Don't try this at home.
While you're doing that, what are some better tactics than what you are currently doing now if someone needs to get behind their playfield like that?
Have a friend hold the thing, pull it up and have someone hold it. Or again, I'll use like a longer 2x4 and I can bring this thing like this much farther forward and use a piece of wood to prop it up to keep the playfield from moving around. But this is hard. That is why the slidey playfield slides on the WPC games were incredible, because they make service like this like possible, where this is a giant pain in the butt. So I can't see what I'm doing. I should have done this before we went live, but I wanted to show what the ramp looked like with the new parts on it, so I'm sorry. Well, and I'm just going to be dropping screws. This is not fun. This is the worst part. You'll find like a lot of games have like really difficult, awful things to do. I hate doing pop bumper rebuilds on Doctor Who. They're all in the back. The game's old enough so the playfield doesn't pop up. It is just an absolute nightmare. I don't know. Does anyone else have any games that they like absolutely hate working on? Because I have a large list of them. Let's see here. Ooh, what other games are like absolute nightmares? Dracula? The Williams Dracula from the 90s. I love that game. I adore that game.
It's a fun game.
It is just such a pain in the butt.
TechBeck said Orbiter 1. Yeah,
yeah, Orbiter 1's annoying. That would be
a weird thing to work on. Yeah. It's all like magnets, pop bumper magnets. I mean, they're not really pop bumpers, right? They're just like electromechanical fields.
Yeah, there's no magnets in a pop bumper.
No, but it like pushes your ball around.
The rod and ring? Or just anything to do with magnets? Oh, Orbiter 1? Does it? They're not magnets.
One, it's that weird crater.
Yeah.
Field that it's the ball's being dragged around by like.
So yeah, it's like super magnets, crazy, right? But
spinning
it's
magnets.
No, they're motors. They're spinny. They're super high RPM spinny things with foam attached to them. So they spin really, really fast and just make the ball jump away. And that's a big problem because those motors are a pain in the butt to find. You can't really find those things easy anymore.
Oh yeah, Bad Out of Hell by Meatloaf said any lower level games. Yeah, they're working on a haunted house. They said, as someone who is 5'4", it's impossible to work on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a stool right by my game. I'm 5 feet solid, and I need a stool to just get anywhere on it.
I've got an unfair height advantage when it comes to doing a lot of this stuff. So that's why I don't like to demonstrate my ways of doing certain things, like holding up a playfield with your shoulder while you're like working underneath the game, or how easy it is for me to lift a playfield up and out of a game because I've got the upper body to do it. Well, I've got the length. I don't actually have any upper body strength, so let me not confuse you with that. Okay, there's one more screw here and then 2 more there, and I think we're good, and I don't have to just stand here and block the camera the entire time.
Nice. Oh, so in Orbiter 1, it's the wood underneath that you can't get to under the playfield, and only through select holes.
Yeah, there's like access ports.
I've never seen underneath one, but next time I see an Orbiter 1, I wanna see the goods.
I got the one working in at the Pacific Pinball Museum in Alameda. It suffered from bad motors, and I found a replacement, and we got it going. It's a cool game. It's really neat, but it sucks. It's really cool though. Okay, 2 more screws that I will need a lovely little washer for.
MGM Studios missed the beginning of our show. But now he's here to keep up the good work.
I told him he was required, because we needed puns today. If we didn't have puns, we wouldn't have...
we're getting the puns.
Oh, boy. I think I am severely lacking in the washer department right now. I've got plenty of fender washers, but I have no decent-sized washers for this application. Being selective with your washers is important, right? You can use this great little washer here that's nice and tight, and it's the same size as the head of the screw, right? Or you could use this gigantic fender washer. It's they all have their own places, but use what fits and what looks right. There's no real rhyme or there's no right or wrong washer to use in an application, but it might not look right, and you won't want to use that. Let's see. This guy's longer. This will fit. So we've got this ramp. Once this goes in, it's a matter of figuring out the spaghetti of what other wire forms go next. They do kind of crisscross on this game a little bit, so I'm going to want to pay attention, or we'll have to do a little bit of exploring there. I will get the playfield back onto its pivot points. That needs to happen too, because we need to make it a little more solid than it is now, but we're close. Haunted House is a game that I really enjoy working on. I don't know why. I think it's just really satisfying because the thing is it's just so much. There's so much going on. It's really fun to see how they did it. Those Gottlieb games were really a trip. Black Hole's another really fun game to work on. It's a nightmare. Yeah, right?
I just always get that stuck in my head. Now it's gonna be stuck in my head for the rest of the day.
You're welcome.
Oh, we got a pun from Crystal.
Oh, good.
Washer, I hardly know her.
That's expected.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good Crystal joke. I like that. Okay, this
Sorry,
is beautiful.
MGM Studios, I didn't read yours out.
That is together.
again.
Let's see. I have some number 4 by 1/2" screws somewhere to attach this ramp again. My hardware container was definitely... I know we picked over it a lot. This game was plagued with a lot of really bad hardware. So I'll see. I might need to order some more. My hardware selection was definitely picked over, and I haven't really refilled it lately. I'm not gonna
Kyle's workbench always starts out so clean, but then by the end of the show, he just has buckets of stuff poured out everywhere.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to sort through again.
Buckets of screws. Oh, you know what? I think I might have put them in a different container. Hold on.
Awesome. Yeah, the artwork on Haunted House is beautiful, especially when it's lit up nicely.
I really want a black hole because I really like the games that use the infinity glass, like Xenon and Mars God of War and what other games? Black Hole, where they have the lights that chase around the outside with the mirroring and such. Those are all my favorite games.
Dakota Mike said his first tech job was a Gottlieb System 80 Pantera. Game is so weird tech-wise compared to any Bally Williams Data East stuff he's worked on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you work on System 80?
Gottlieb used a really weird system. It was like outdated by the time it was released, and
most of their systems ended up being very outdated very quickly. I do not have the correct screws for the ramp, so I'm going to leave that alone. I think for now, there is a plastic shield that I need to reinstall in the back of the game, but this is something I definitely want 2 people for. There's this big plastic shield that screws into the back panel. It is very difficult to get to, and this would just be a lot of Kyle craned over trying to turn the screw 1/4 turn a long time to install 8 screws, or 6 screws. So we'll install this later, but the purpose of this guy is it lives back here and it covers up a lot of the mechanical stuff. So if there ever was like a fly ball or something like that, it would keep the ball from being jammed up behind in the crazy ramp. So
what if you just left that off?
You could, but I mean, it should go back on. It will keep the ball from ever getting stuck. The same thing too is like a lot of pinball games, the back wall of the playfield is high. This one has to be very low for the ramp to do what it needs to do. And there are wires that can also get snagged. All the wires that run the playfield back here can get snagged in some of this machinery. So it's a good way to keep everything separate and safe. Like you don't need it, but you kind of do.
You should have it.
So I'm going to very gently sort of figure out what I need to do to get the playfield back in. Oh, okay, this will be pretty easy. It just needs to come back. And then I will lift it up and put it on its rolly pins. And now we have a playfield that pivots. I'm going to make sure those wires don't get caught up back there. Okay, cool. All right, it's starting to kind of look like a pinball machine again. I'm happy.
Yay.
I do have.
So what's next? He did make that look so easy, right?
I've done it a few times.
I tried to do that the other day, and it was very horrifying. So I will never try it again by myself. Sometimes having a friend with you is good. No shame in that.
I do have this, and I do.
Roller Pinball says that their roller games doesn't have that back panel. Uh-oh.
Well, as long as it's not on location, you're probably fine. I mean, if a ball ever got stuck up somewhere, I think the primary job of that thing is to keep the wires from getting entangled with the mechanism. So just make sure that when you lift and lower the playfield, the wires don't get stuck in the diverter. I have this that I will be installing. One of Cliffy's protectors for the ramp. I know Cliffy personally. He taught me a lot about pinball when I didn't know anything. He lived in the same town I grew up in.
Nice.
So he's an awesome dude, but one thing you'll find with this game is just due to the geometry of this ramp, the ball will come up from this flipper and slam against the plastic here, or the ball will get hit by this flipper and ram into the plastic here, and this side of the ramp just gets chewed up on Rollergames. So I'm going to install this ramp protector, which will shed the burden of the force put onto that by attaching to this screw here, or this stud.
Let's get this Sony walked in for a close-up shot. I'm going to make the wide... oh, where did our other wide camera go? There we go.
Yeah, maybe you can see.
Let's see.
I could
Well, you
install
might
it
need
now.
to
I mean, I
go
guess I might as well
around.
just install it now since we're here and we're looking at it and it's going to be good. But what this does is, again, it has a physical attaching point. Like the design, the things that go into making like an effective protector. Right, you could put a piece of metal here to reinforce this plastic, but that's just going to transfer the force of hitting the plate against the plastic, still causing a stress point at the bottom where the two bits of the vacuform ramp hit. So if the ball hits this, the pressure is still being forced this way, right? It's going to want to crack and separate. The nice thing about having a protector that's designed as so, will transfer some of this pressure onto this post. So that being, it won't just put the brunt of it onto the ramp, thus causing it to crack. A lot of roller games are already cracked. Most ramps are destroyed. So sometimes you can also use these things to make up for the fact that you're missing a lot of material on the ramp. So anyways,
It's kind of a weird angle, Steve.
Come straight on. I can rotate the
Yeah,
game a
there you
little
go.
bit if you want to move the camera a little bit further over that way.
I think you're getting, yeah, just keep coming over to the right. That over there is probably good. We'll get really zoomed in. The master shot I have above the play field. Yeah,
It's
there you
probably
go.
not even
So
worth
what
using that anymore.
So what are you doing right now, Kyle? You're wiping it down?
Yeah, Cliffs provides like an alcohol wipe so you can prep the surface. You want to get all the grime and crud off of the ramp. This is a new ramp that's never been installed in a game before, so I still want to use it. I'm going to see if this adhesive will loosen up with the alcohol. Nope, not really. Okay, but we just want to make sure it's clean because there is adhesive on the back of the protector. Sorry, I'm way out of frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop this sucker on. I'm going to put a washer on top of here first, and then we'll stick this guy on, and then the ramp will be, or one of the wire forms will be ready to go on top of that. It has been so long since we've worked on this game. I feel lost.
Midge, does the Sony cam go up higher at all? We can go up and then tilt down. See if you can telescope up a little bit and get us some of that ramp. I'll switch over to, oops, while you figure that out.
The one thing, I guess, like the reason I'm installing this is even though this is going to be a home use game, well, actually, probably won't. This will probably go on location one day. The old plastic, even though this is a perfect ramp, it's brittle. It's 30 years old, right? So the plastic is still just as fragile as a old and blown out ramp. So I want to install this to keep it, or just to prolong the lifespan of this old ramp. Hopefully we will get some replacements one day. But yeah, that's pretty easy. I guess Cliff is pretty famous for making like his like hole protectors and stuff like that. I don't particularly like the hole guards and stuff so much. It'll keep the game protected, but the balls tend to like to fly out. They don't like act the same way. I don't care if this hole gets blown out. It's a pinball game. I want it to play as smooth as possible. But if you have something that's super precious and you never want it to get worn out, that is one way you can prolong the wear from happening. Okay, I think we can slowly start laying plastics back down also. When you're doing this, you do have to be aware, like I see a big hole in the playfield here. That means that there is going to be a switch stack that might be inserted through here, so I need to make sure. Maybe it's best to kind of do like a dry run. I think that might be the best way to do it. I know that this one goes somewhere. I think
you
this.
almost need like a picture of a roller games.
I mean that's not wrong.
Your
I do.
this reference.
Oh shucks. I think I could get this in there since it's not screwed down there. I mean, I use IPDB like that a lot, but just to reference what I'm doing when I've had something taken apart too long or something.
I think I'm going to remove this assembly so I don't have to mess with the ramp again. Sometimes it's easier to take more parts off than it is to force things. I don't want to break anything. Magnetic nut driver. This is like the best thing ever. Everyone needs magnetic nut drivers.
Yep, add them to your cart today. Roller Pinball asked, how does one acquire a new old stock ramp like this? I've never seen it available for sale anywhere.
You have to be very lucky and work at Marco Specialties, where we have a lot of old stuff. I am definitely very lucky that I was able to find that. You'll get lucky. Things turn up all the time, man. I have new old stock playfields that, you know, for games that they only made a few of, right? It's like you find these things. You'll get lucky at some point. There is some operator somewhere that's going to shut down and sell off all his stuff, and you'll find it. So let's see. I really, it is kind of like one of my goals, though, is to get these Rollergames ramps produced. I have a soft spot for Rollergames. I really love this game. I would really like to see somebody reproduce this stuff, so I'm working on it. Let's see. So we can hold the ramp down here. Oops, I need a screwdriver. Where'd it go?
Lavernius James, yes, Rollergames. We love Rollergames. And this is Kyle's personal Rollergames. He will never, ever sell it.
Don't say never, ever. Everything's got a price.
If he does sell it, he's selling it to me.
Oh. Okay, this one doesn't have a price then. This one's taken. I don't like to sell games. I don't sell them very often, and when I do, it's because I got them for super cheap. But the games that I like, it's never worth selling. I sold so many games that I just can't afford to buy now because the prices have just gone crazy. Okay, that works. This plastic goes here, and I hope can slide underneath, or else I'm going to have to unscrew that. It slides in nicely. All right, cool. This will start going back together pretty smooth, I think. It's crazy how naked a game looks, and then you start putting little pieces on here and there, and it really starts to take shape fast.
Nice. Bad Out of Hell by Meatloaf said, another reassembly hack. Check Chris Hutchins' old photo gallery on his High-End Pins website for image references.
Huh.
If you happen to have a game he's worked on, there are high-res images on the top and bottom of the playfield, back box, and cabinet.
That's something
awesome.
I've never considered.
High-End Pins.
Maybe I should ask Chris to send us all those pictures, or if I could save them from his website. That would be useful for some of our stuff. Chris is a great guy. He orders stuff from us
let's give
all the
him
time.
a shout out. Here's a URL to High-End Pins.
Is it just hep.com or?
It's highendpins.com.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Chris is a good guy.
And then it goes to christopherhutchins.com. Oh yeah, he has a lot of games.
He makes very, very shiny pinball machines. If you really like shiny things, he's your man.
There's no hard body.
Yeah, what the heck?
Well, if your game isn't on Chris Hutchinson's list, then Internet Pinball Database.org is always great, ipdb.org. And like TechBeck said, go to the various forums as well. You can find photos there, but then also if you're looking for specific parts, you might find them through
You know something you should do also is submit your photos to IPDB. Those photos are... Man, I feel bad. Who works IPDB?
Worm?
I forget the fella's name. I feel really bad, but those photos are old, man. Say it louder. I can't hear you. I don't remember, man. It was there's a couple people that work IPDB, but the thing is you know, that website was put together 15 plus years ago, right? And it's a lot of those photos are from ancient digital cameras, and they're super compressed and they're bad. Submitting good, well-lit, high-resolution photos is something that we should all be doing to support that site.
Absolutely. Yeah. Check out what games you have, and if your game doesn't have a lot of pictures in ipdb.org, then submit them. You just have your cell phone right there. You just submit photos. Get
I'm
updated
guilty.
photos.
I should be doing that with all of my games here too. So
You really should. It's all of our homework. If you submit pictures to ipdb.org this week, and then you come on our next week's stream and send us a link to show that you submitted pictures of that, we will send you some Marco swag. How about that?
that sounds fair. I think that's a good way to get the community behind a good cause. So
Do your homework, we'll send you something cool.
I'm scared that I keep putting plastics on in places, or ramps on where plastics need to go, but I don't remember how these were routed. I think they came out like this. There's a lot of space in this loom, so something like this.
Oh,
Well,
Kyle.
look, there's a big cover that goes over all of this, so I think we're assuming correctly. Let's see here.
Yep, a keychain, maybe a coffee mug, depending on how much you do your homework. Like if you submit to a whole bunch of games, then you might get a t-shirt. We have Marco hats coming soon.
That's a good screw.
The list is endless. We will decide. If you submit one photo to one game,
Yeah, you can give yourself a
I'll
pat on the
probably
back.
I might send you a keychain for that. But if you do more, then you might get something.
Document them well
cooler.
in the sense like it's really helpful, like especially when we have
Nice.
customers that call and they might not really know what they're talking about, and we're trying to figure out what they're talking about. Using IPDB to like look at the undersides of playfields is really handy. So like good, well lit
Definitely.
pictures of the top, the middle, and the back section of playfields. Like those sorts of things are really important, especially for older games, especially like 80s and 70s games. If any of you guys have electromechanical games, it would be a huge,
The
huge
more
help.
rare the game is that has less photos and you're adding to those photos, that will also qualify you for a better swag item.
But if the game was rarer, wouldn't we need less
writing a
pictures
note
of it
in
because
here
no
to
one's
keep
going to have the
us
game?
accountable.
I'm just saying.
IPDB.org.
Okay.
Homework for swag.
I like that. We're carrot and stick method. It works. Okay, this is cool.
Well,
I hope that I didn't put this all in the wrong order because I have so many more ramps. So I know that the pit is this guy here. Oh, and that one shares a screw with this one. So I need to take that back off. That's fine. So we've got that one. Then this one, I know this one goes here, right? This one connects here and drops into the in lane. And this one goes,
you got this, Kyle. You got this. Yeah, so if you do your ipdb.org
no,
homework,
I don't.
you can send me the links of your submissions to marcotv@marcopinball.com, or when you come into class next week, post the links in the chat, and while Kyle is screwing something in, I'll double check it.
What's going on here?
Oh, Pin Daddy 41. We have set up a homework for next week. If you submit new pictures to a game on ipdb.org to update their library
Isn't
of
pinball
older
fun?
pictures, then we'll send you some Marco swag. So that's the homework.
What is wrong here? What am I
It
missing?
helps everybody. All
Oh!
right, everyone, let's focus on what Kyle's doing.
No, don't focus on what I'm doing.
If you have a roller games, tell him where this piece goes.
Ah,
He's
we got
holding
it.
some wire form ramps and he's looking confused.
we got it. We got
Someone
it.
get this guy
I
a
forgot.
picture. Oh,
I was like, I know this goes here because it has to go here, but there's like just a giant disconnect. Like, what the hell? We were missing the pit. Okay, that's roller games. That is it. Most 100% almost. I think we're going to work from the right to the left because there's less work here and more work here. So let's see what we get. Where to start though? This, because this is easy. I always thought it was cool. It does kind of make these games look old with these kind of like, I don't know what who chose these Pantone colors, but like powder coated habit trails are kind of cool.
Since
like
this
it.
has been uninstalled from the game for a long time, I am having to pinch these together to get them to go into this hole here. And then it simply attaches here. But what I will do is I will put washers on the top and bottom of this to not, crush the slingshot plastic. We could put one under here to support. And hopefully I'll have enough room for an elastic stop nut to come in and actually bite. When you are using an elastic stop nut like this, you do need to make sure that the threads of the bolt do come all the way up into the elastic portion. If it's not coming up into that, teeny bit of elastic up there, it's not really doing a job. It's just being a nut at that point. Let's see what we can get.
Oh yeah, an alligator mod for the pit. That would be cool.
An alligator mod? Wait, what's that?
Like when you go to the pit, I don't know, maybe there's a little alligator decal or toy. Or something.
Alligators? Were there
You
ever
go into the
alligators on
alligator
this
pit.
show?
They should put alligators in roller games and roller derby. Just throw some alligators out there.
That sounds dangerous, man.
Yeah, maybe they'll be robotic alligators, so it's not like animal cruelty.
When can we get a reboot of roller games? I think if any show needs a reboot, and I guess Netflix has infinite money, so let's try getting a roller games reboot going, please. Any Netflix execs watching right now?
Oh wow, sudden death in the TV show had an alligator in the pit. Oh wow.
Ah, okay. I guess I'm showing my age. I never was around for roller games, unfortunately. So, let's see. This ramp.
Was it a real life alligator? No, surely not. It's got to be like Jaws, right? It's just a big animatronic chomper.
This is a roller game stream now. Let's just like run reruns of roller games. I saw.
Oh yeah, roller games Nip It edition. Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm down for that. I'll totally rip this thing apart and do Nip It edition.
Oh
see.
yeah, you could retheme roller games to The Floor is Lava.
Yeah? But didn't they already make
I
like a
was
TV
thinking,
show?
yeah, I was thinking of retheming my hard body to Ninja Warrior once, but I don't think I'm gonna do it.
That's almost sacrilegious, though.
I know.
Hard body is literally perfect. That works.
True.
This ramp, since it has never been installed in a game before, doesn't have shape, right? There's not a lot of memory to the ramp.
Oh, nice.
So like it's kind of wanting to sit up like this while this is pulling it down over here. Hopefully by the time I have all of the mounting hardware in here, it will start sitting nice and flat. So the pit.
Roller Pinball, I reposted your sudden death clip to the restream, so our YouTube and Facebook audience can click and enjoy that as well. That's awesome.
I forgot that there's a ball gate that goes here. So we've
Yay, Dakota Mike is also a hard body fan.
everyone should be a
favorite
hard
game
body
ever.
fan.
It's so intense. You gotta remember to flex, and you're like, the whole time you're playing.
It's got to get real tense now. Oh man, this was the pain in the butt post. Let's see. I guess this needs to go like this, so I need to.
So while you do this, give your pinball archaeology spiel, because I really like that. I think it's a great tip.
Which bit
If
of it?
you find
Oh, looking
yourself
for witness
in
marks
the
and stuff.
Yeah, the same status Kyle is in right now, where he didn't take pictures. He's trying to figure out where everything goes. What advice can you give us, Kyle?
So check this out. Can we get the camera to zoom in on this yellow plastic by my ring finger, whatever finger that is? I guess it's the one with the ring on it, so it's the ring finger. You see how we've got like a little bit of chipped off silk screening art underneath this plastic here?
Mm-hmm.
We know that there needs to be a ball gate here, but I can tell the way it's installed is definitely underneath, because I can see where in witness marks as to where this thing was tightened down, just due to the damage of the silk screen, right? So I know that we need to put this underneath instead of
on top of the plastic, because if it was on top, we wouldn't have the same consistent, same size wear marks as what this ball gate is offering. So I know that this goes on top like this. It's again, you can always you can find these sorts of things just by really using. When you're putting these things together, you have to use like your sight and your touch really in sync to see where these things used to lay. You'll see like again with like posts and stuff like that. If you take all the posts off of your pinball game and you don't know if it is like a metal sleeve post or if it's a plastic jewel post, look and see where the wear mark is in the playfield. If it's this wide, it's probably not this post. So that's another way you can kind of figure out where these things go without taking a bunch of pictures. Not that taking pictures is bad. Taking pictures is definitely the right way to do things.
Yep, pinball detective work at its finest. Find those witnesses.
Find the witnesses. Yeah, it's like LA Noire for pinball.
Oh, yeah.
Did we talk about video games on this stream? Remember how great of a game LA Noire was? Or is that just me? I thought that game was awesome.
No, it was a really good game. It was definitely a cornerstone game for that time frame.
Rockstar really knocks everything out of the park. I guess that's why I'm so okay waiting 7 years for a new Grand Theft Auto game. Okay, let's try this.
Press X to doubt. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it used like facial. It was one of the first games that like really used facial recognition. Like
they did like
my eyes this way, then I'm lying. If I look down, then I might be lying.
Well, they did crazy mocap, right? Like they had a bunch of actors like do full motion capture for like all their facial stuffs. Anyways, video games are cool.
What is the pinball equivalent detective game for pinball?
Whodunit, duh.
Well,
I love
Whodunit is like Clue, right? I guess that's like detective work, but yeah, I love Whodunit.
It's such a cool game.
Wait, is Dirty Harry a detective? He looks like a detective.
I mean, he's a cop. I don't remember if he was a detective.
I haven't really played the game or.
Dirty Harry's an alright game. It's kind of
digging myself into a hole. What is Dirty Harry? Is he like a bad cop?
Dirty Harry, like the first movie was really cool, and you should probably watch it. I think they made like a bunch of them, and it probably lost scope. But
oh yeah, X-Files. That is a detective game.
Oh, hey, if any of y'all have an X-Files and you want to sell it, I'll buy it if it's cheap. I love X-Files.
Oh wow, Pin Daddy 41 played LA Noire all in the black and white mode.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know if I could stand that. Not that it's a bad thing. I mean, that's super cool. That game's so atmospheric. Okay, if we're going to keep on the video game topic for a second, do we have any more Cyberpunk hype? I am like basing the rest of my year off of playing Cyberpunk, saving vacation time.
Well, November, the new Assassin's Creed is going to come out.
Yeah, but Cyberpunk's also coming out in November, so...
What else is coming out in November?
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes, that'll be exciting too.
If I had a aesthetic, that game really fits it. I think it's super cool. Steve and I just listen to the Blade Runner soundtrack at work sometimes because it's awesome.
Eska says Mulder and Scully are the only feds I trust.
Amen.
Family Games, welcome to class. You're a bit late, but that's okay, y'all. We are working on a Rollergames. We are reassembling Rollergames. It was our very first pinball machine for PinTech Live several moons ago. And now we're finally getting it back up and running. As soon as Kyle gets all these parts on the playfield, I imagine we'll turn it on and see if it still works. Right? That's exciting.
I think we can manage turning it on. I think that could totally happen.
Go for the wall. We'll probably be working on this next week too, and in that case, I will definitely have the Rollergames soundtrack ready to go. All of the cool call outs. There's lots of really fun call outs on this.
I'm thinking if we're working on this game next week, we might be. I'll probably do a lot of work off camera, but I think we'll be doing a NVRAM install, possibly.
That would be awesome.
I think that is a long time coming, and I had some fun working on circuit boards over the weekend on the stream for the Bride of Pinbot. So I'm starting to get my circuit board juju back. Let's see here. This is probably the world's longest screw for that application. I can shorten it up a little bit. Like I said, this game, even though I saved all the hardware, a lot of the hardware for this game was just like totally jacked up. Like for example, I don't remember where these things were, but like this is not a pinball screw. I don't know what shape that is. It's an upside down triangle, but these sort of like countersunk screws like have no place anywhere on a pinball game. So I'm kind of just haphazardly putting new hardware. It might not be the right way. I might learn that I screwed up and that these need to have way bigger washers for the pit ramp, but it'll work for now. And I'm also throwing things all over the floor. So
he totally just popcorned that up into the air.
I'm
yes,
hyped for Rollergames.
We're getting feedback. An NVRAM install would be great to watch. Seconded. I put it on our show notes list.
It's probably, I mean, it's pretty boring to watch, but I hope that I could teach you something.
We did an NVRAM install on Fire as well, right?
Nope. We were gonna, but it's just, I don't want to do it to that game. It's not worth the time.
Oh, right. So yes, then absolutely next week we need to do an NVRAM install if we don't have it.
All right.
What did we do on Fire? That was...
We redid the power supply, new capacitors and such.
Right.
This game, I totally want to do it on. This game has a very, very clean computer that's never had any sort of acid damage. So we're going to make sure that this thing stays nice. The System 11C computers are very valuable. I think the System 11A computer is the most valuable since it's actually like it'll work in any game, where the System 11C ones will only work in games with external audio boards. I think we did a video on the difference between all of the different computers, but if we open it up, we'll look at it.
Yeah, and you can find that archived content on our YouTube page. Anonymous said, I had to make my own ramp cliffs for this game. It gets blasted from that upper field.
Yeah, the one that used to be on this game had a huge homemade monstrosity. It was great though. I mean, they like drilled holes in it, put like a piece of sheet metal and like screwed it and I think they riveted it, or maybe they used like a cap head screw with a big nut on the back and then like ground the bolt down to make it pretty flush. This game really, really, really needs new ramps. They made enough of these and there's enough of them still out there that it needs to be redone. So if anybody who makes ramps is watching, I don't think anyone is, please, come on. I've got a decent sample funny. I can send you.
Roller Pinball said that screw is lost where that drill bit went. I think he actually found that drill bit though.
Man,
right? You found that.
That's a good burn.
Baby.
Thank you for thank you for being
like
here, burning me that way.
It was just like, all right, well, the show's over, guys. Lost the drill bit.
It should have been, but we had the perseverance to keep it going.
IndiePin says, I was able to get the 5101 NVRAM that had been out of stock. He's very excited, but a bit nervous to put it in. So let's work on it together. What game are you putting that into again, IndiePins? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, into the Rollergames as well.
No.
Right. I forgot IndiePins is very heavily invested into the Rollergames series.
Oh, yeah. IndiePins is super stoked on
No,
okay.
he said Diamond Lady.
Yeah, Diamond Lady. He's got the Gottlieb game. I remember that. Diamond Lady is such a cool game. I have a friend that's selling his in Portland, and I'm like almost tickled to say like, hey, you should send that my way. My goal is to have like the weirdest collection of pinball games ever.
Diamond Lady.
I think I should sell Twilight Zone so I can claim to have the world's worst collection of pinball games.
Pin Daddy 41 said, I was planning to do an NVRAM install part of my current repairs until I realized what a pain WPC games are to install it in.
Yep. You have to have the right tools. It's like, that's not something, I'm going to preface that show with the warning. It's like, if you do not have a solder sucker, like an electric desoldering iron, just don't even do it. You'll cause way more damage than good.
So the proper tools are very important for this install that we're doing next week.
Yeah, you can finagle so many other things, but wrecking a circuit board, doing more damage than you came in with is important not to do. What were we doing? We had a blown column driver, ULN 20, whatever it is, on the WPC computer. And even though I took like a lot of precaution, we still ended up pulling out a couple fillets, and we had a bad trace. So I had to run a patch wire. It's been a long time since I've done, I used to do board work like every day. It's been a while since I've done it. So I definitely made a few mistakes, but there's a few safe ways to remove chips when you know they're bad. There's a few, we'll go over everything. Generally, if you're like really, really nervous, the easiest way to do it is to cut the leg of the chip off and then suck all the solder out and remove the chip instead of trying to remove it all as one. And maybe that's what we'll do here, because I have a huge pile of 6264 RAMs that I do not, or 6116s and 6264s that I'll probably never use again. But yeah, sorry. Anyways, talking a lot.
That sounds like it's going to be a really great, informative episode.
It might be.
Excited for that.
Depends on how much coffee I drink and how much I just continue talking and talking and talking and never stopping.
That was painful.
Oh my God.
Remember?
You're supposed to back me up and be like,
Kyle was working on the board, and it was just, I think my eyes were crossed the whole time. It was a very, very difficult class, and he was going fast. But next week will be different.
Yeah, that's what we say now. Okay.
Yeah, indie pins, what makes me nervous is to fix something that's not broken. True, it's like an upgrade, but
yeah, well,
just patience.
I think if you feel like you can do it, it's probably worth doing, man. I can't find these screws, so we might not shoot this ramp. This ramp is supposed to sit down against the playfield here. And since I don't have the screws to like clamp this thing in, well, I might. I just need to look away off camera, but I don't want to go off camera right now. I don't want to shoot the ramp and screw it up. But what we should do is lift the playfield up. We should double check that, since this was a long time ago, we want to make sure all of our connections are connected. I know that we have to connect this ramp. I don't know. Let's do that real quick. Let's take a look. Since I don't have that shield back here, I do want to be careful of the wires.
Right. And it seems like quite a few roller games are missing that shield. So maybe when someone worked on it, they took it off, and it was just too much of a pain to put it back on.
Absolutely.
Which, unfortunate.
Yeah. No, that's real commonplace in pinball, where something's a pain in the butt and it just never finds its way back on the game. So let's see here. Flippers, we did that. I've played it since we did the flippers. I remember we did that once or twice, so that's fine. We redid the drop targets, and I remember that's fine. I fixed the magnet. I reinstalled the magnet. That's okay. We did the pop bumpers, and we did the wires for the pop bumper socket, so that's fine. This doesn't really have any place to zip tie to. I mean, I guess I should put a zip tie on this so it doesn't like hang around. I think I am, because I probably will never take this ramp out ever again. Oh, I have zip ties up here. I just I hate it when wires are flying all over the place in a game, so I always try to clean them up and keep things from flying around.
That's good. Yes, Leaf Carrot asked, does Marco ever let civilians in this room to play? You know, if it wasn't the current circumstance of social distancing and stuff like that, we would definitely have some epic parties in our Marco studio, but we'll just have to wait for that.
Yes.
If you are in the Columbia area, there's a lot of great places to go play pinball now, though. So check out Bang Back, check out Transmission Arcade.
Oh, no.
They have some vids as well.
I
forgot
The
this game
barbecue.
has
Oh
terrible
my
LEDs.
gosh. What is he doing? What
I forgot
happened?
that this game is full of terrible LEDs. So it's
Oh.
gonna look real gross, but whatever. Let's let me oh wait, yep, no, we're good. Let me plug this thing in.
Yay, let's see if it fires up. Here's the money shot.
Yeah, man, if there wasn't like a crazy pandemic going on right now, this would be a really rad arcade.
Yeah, Dalton, you're right. This is a great game to teach new players to use the upper flipper. That's kind of where I learned at Portal Pinball. They had this game for a while, and that extra second you get where it's like, don't flip, flip.
Yeah, that's cool.
It definitely teaches you. Although right when it's coming around, I instantly just want to flip, even though he's saying, don't flip. And I'm like, oh, flip, what? And then I, lose that bonus. But
Yeah, no one
it's
really
fun.
listens.
It's so fun. Granby Grill. Yep, Granby Grill has some sick new tables. They do have they have a cool little alcove of very nice pinball machines in there.
Hey, those 30-year-old flash lamps work. Yay. I want to see the
Leaf
diverter
Carrot,
go.
did you know that Columbia, South Carolina is the new pinball capital of the world? That's the new thing. So we're glad you're local and helping grow the pinball scene. That's awesome. All right, what are we looking at here, Kyle?
I'm looking at my backbox GI relay is dead, so that doesn't work, but that relay works. I'm looking to see I want to watch the diverter go. Lock kickback. Lock kickback. So is that this one? We've got one coil that might not be working.
This is always the scary part, too.
Hey, it works. Yay. Cool. Everything but I think the lock coil's working for some reason. I want to verify that by running through the test still. All popper, flash, unused, flash, drop targets, flash, something else, flash.
So Kyle has his hand in the coin door, and that's how he is swapping through the menu system, so he can do all his tests. And yeah, Jay Zuno one asked, IndiePin kind of answered, but they were asking how much maintenance does the average pinball game require? It just depends, right?
It depends on the game. If it's a new game, it likely will not require much maintenance at all. If it's an old game, depending on its condition, it could take a lot of work. Most of my games are old, and I really don't have to work on a lot of them, but I've put a lot of work into them. Condition is everything. It is easy to find a game that looks really nice, but it's actually a giant turd. If you wanted to own a pinball machine and you did not want to own a new one, I would recommend buying one from someone who is like qualified in that field, and is a retailer or something like that. Has a storefront, has a bunch of games.
Has a warranty.
Yeah, you'll end up getting a game that has a warranty a lot of the time instead of just buying something that looks flashy on Craigslist and then you get home and something doesn't work and, well, that's your problem now. So generally, if you buy a game from a dealer like that, they will cost more money, but that is definitely money well spent. Or just buy a new game, and then generally you don't have issues. So. Yeah, let's see. So we do have one coil that's not working, but I do need to double check that that is plugged in. What is going on down here? Since some of these coils, again, it's not plugged in. Okay, so that's easy. That's why it's not working. We can.
Yay, isn't it nice when it's just an easy fix like that?
It's never just an easy plug either, but this time it was.
This time it was.
All right, cool. Yeah, this game it would be totally fine to play, I think. Well, at least starting to play it, because, again, we just took the game all apart, and at this point we will need to kind of just make sure everything's sitting the right way. Maybe these wire forms aren't sitting totally straight. I think what we'll do, instead of playing it, though, is I will boot it up. I'll put some balls in it, and we'll just simulate some stuff, right? Like, let's lock a ball. Let's watch all that stuff work. So let me get some pinballs.
Sounds good. I'm going to switch to camera views. Kyle, can you still hear us?
Yeah. Did we lose audio?
Pin says, my diamond lady has some lights that pass the self-test, but never light up during play. The schematic shows them connected to some digital logic. Might there be somewhere a verbal description that would tell me what feature is supposed to be active?
Logic would say yes, but Gottlieb really didn't use a lot of logic a lot of times when putting that stuff together. Again, so here's the thing, right? If the computer can call it up, right? Those are controlled lamps. If the computer can say, hey, do this, and it does it, it works 95% of the time, right? So even though you're using the test menu and you can tell the computer to make the thing do the job, it'll probably be fine because software has to call it up at that point. So since I don't know the software, if you want to get in there and like decompile the software of the game to like learn where that light might be, then yeah, maybe, but I don't know. Gottlieb, though, a lot of their lights were just for flash. If you look at like one of my favorite pinball machines of all time, Cactus Jacks, there's like 40 light bulbs in the middle of the game that do nothing except for like do a crazy light show. So Gottlieb, man, they're crazy. Let's start a game here, and I'm just going to fake it. Let me turn the volume down, too. Oh, it is down. Is there any? We don't have sound. That's annoying. I'll figure that out.
Where's our sound? Rock.
It's somewhere.
Games.
So let's see. How do you do this again? We have to go drop targets down to qualify a lock. I could shoot the ball up the ramp. It diverts it perfectly. It locks the ball, kicks out another one. We can, it's going to lock another one, I guess, since I have it all the way done.
Let's see if I can make this one go.
Okay. I just want to watch things work, right? So it's kind of fun. We could drop the ball down here. It feeds into the in lane really nice. Again, sometimes you have to adjust these wire forms left and right so they feed smooth. How do I get this guy? I guess I have to fake it by putting the ball to come through this switch so it'll know to hit that diverter, right? Oh, no. It just thought I locked it because it saw that switch closed, so it wanted to lock. I'll let them go. Okay, it worked. There we go. Nice. So zoom in on that.
Yeah, why is the ball stuck there?
Because this guy is adjusted too far to the right, and the ball's getting caught up on the slingshot plastic.
Ah.
So it's like, you know, that's why we were stress testing the Bride of Pinbot on Tuesday. You want to really play a game a bunch of times to see if you can find where those goofy little problems might end up being. I guess Rollergames actually has some like nonsense lights too. The the middle here, I think all those do is oh wait, is that bonus? I don't remember. Does anyone who knows pinball better than I do, are those for bonus or are those just really cool?
Dalton, you're here in the chat. I know you can tell us.
Sends it back this way. That sends it down that way. If we do the atomic whip, that'll shoot it up, stage it, and then shoot it again. Yeah, I'm satisfied. This is pretty cool. I'm stoked on this. It is hard to get the ball up into the just the rollovers at the top. You kind of have to make a bummer shot, and it has to dribble its way out.
You can do it.
I can't do it. Oh, let's take the magnet. Shoot the ball into the... Oh, hey, look at that. I installed the wire gate backwards. There you go. See, this is why you always like...
Do you hear our cameraman laughing over there, snickering?
Actually, you know what? This is how I'd want to put it on location.
Can we zoom in on that? This is perfect reminder of why we take pictures.
Everyone would just get bummed out.
Zoom in on the wire gate. Dude.
That's fun. Well, we can fake it anyways.
Oh.
And wait for the magnet to stop the ball. Magnet, do not flip. Stop. Go! Oh, that was perfect. Okay, I'm going to fix that.
So you installed it backwards?
Yeah,
it's a one-way gate, right? So I installed it the other wrong way. I had 50% chance to get it right, and I got the 50% in the wrong direction.
It happens.
And you can go like that, and ta-da! Now we can use
Yay.
the pit.
So it's great to test it with your hands and
Oh
like
yeah.
how Kyle's doing it rather than just starting to play a game and then bashing into that really hard with the flipper.
I think it's just like a cool tease. I kind of want to do that just to make people be like, but I want the magnet.
Yeah, 50-50 is great odds in Vegas.
Yeah.
Kyle.
Not when you have to do. Thankfully, it's just right here and it's only 2 screws and it's simple. So I do want to figure out why we don't have sound. Let's look at that really quick, but I'm very satisfied. And isn't it crazy though how like a game that's like totally naked really comes back together super fast?
Yeah.
You know, it's just, it only took a minute, now the thing's back together. We do have a lot of extra hardware in our bowl, but these are a lot of things that were replaced with better or different screws, right? Williams never used dome head, or flat, you know, slit screws like this. That is garbage. I'm going to throw that away. But I did replace some of these big number 8 SEMS head screws that I will carry, and they were just gross and they kind of sit up close. So little things make a big difference. Let's
Absolutely.
make sure the volume pot is up.
All right,
I think
we're gonna look at the sound. Let's
Yeah.
zoom out a little.
I don't
Hey,
know.
Jay Zuno. Yes, this is Kyle fixing his own roller games. He loves roller games, so this is his game, his beloved roller games. But also, he is a professional pinball repair guy, so he works on customers' games as well. Over the past few weekends, we've been doing shows for a awesome Bride of Pinbot, and he fixed that game up, and we had the customer watching on the live stream the whole time
yeah,
to make
Yeah.
sure Kyle didn't break it.
make sure Kyle wasn't stealing
good
his
job.
game.
And then they play tested it on our after hours show. So it got the full treatment.
Oh,
Wow. The auto mod held a comment from us that is
What?
not bad. The auto mod, this has never happened before. This is exciting. The auto mod held a comment saying it was too sexual. And it was, hey, it's me, Dusty, saying it would be awesome to have a little bag of common screws, nuts, and bolts.
That is way too sexual, man. I can't believe you'd say something like that
Obviously,
on this.
the auto mod was not here earlier on in the show when we had all sorts of innuendos.
yeah. The auto mod wasn't moderating
we were
us.
talking about keeping our balls clean, and then it's like, oh, you said screws and nuts together. Yeah, where are you at, auto?
There it goes.
Wow. We do actually sell quite a few like hodgepodge packs, like an all different assortment rubber sizes packs and different screw assortment packs.
Yeah, I forget what the
What would
part
be the
number
best
is.
way of searching for that?
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, you could look it up on the website. It's 77-FAST. It's just like a big fastener kit. It's great. It's a good way to just kind of like build up a basis. So you can have a giant unorganized box of hardware like I have over here. You can dump out onto tables.
I'm gonna try to find it for you.
Yeah, it's cool. It's good. This thing is really clean. I think I put this ribbon cable in here because I found it in a box of ribbon cables, but I do want to get the right one. It's too long for the application. I should get the correct one, and it doesn't need to be like 16 inches long. I had the speakers unplugged because I think...
I'll drop it a link.
What were we doing? Oh, it was when we were recording the California Extreme virtual, so you want to buy a pinball machine. I had this on in the background, and I was tired of it doing attract mode, so I just kind of like went back here and yanked the speakers out. Anyways, yeah, what we'll be doing next week we'll be dealing with the RAM chip right here. We'll be removing that RAM and installing a non-volatile RAM that does not require batteries to store the memory. So,
awesome. And is that something where you're going to have to pull that board out to work on it properly?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you do it? Okay.
And this is a
Cool.
really annoying board to yank out of a game because it's gigantic and has a billion plugs, but we'll manage.
That's awesome. I'm glad you're adding it to your pack, Dusty. And don't forget, we have a promotion going on right now that is free shipping for orders over $99.
Yes.
It's ground shipping. You can use FedEx Ground, pretty reliable. And yeah, so use the code PINLABOR as your coupon code in all
That's
caps.
The best
And
promo code.
yeah, just load up your cart. That will be till Sunday, so you have some time to get your cart all filled up with the little
jeez.
things you might need for your games.
Yep, that's a good time to get
Family
some parts
Games
in.
asked, what screws hold in most MPUs on Williams System 9 to 11C games?
It's a really short number 8 screw, I think. Let's sample really quick. The stock screw is... Okay, this is a little long. I don't know if this is totally correct, but... Well, this looks like it might be maybe 5/16, but it's a number 8 Phillips Sims head screw. So 832 by 5/16. But you could probably use like something much shorter than that, like a 3/8 or not 3/8, like a, I don't know, whatever this is, much shorter. It does not need to be this long. This might be factory, but I don't remember. It's hard because a lot of these things don't have the factory hardware in there if they have hardware in there at all. I guess I could check too. But yeah, a Sims head 832 screw is what you need. And remember to definitely make sure all your boards are mounted. A lot of these boards use grounding points through the circuit boards themselves and their attachment point to the head. These are all really long. So it could have been from the factory a very long screw, but yeah, it's goofy.
Are you taking out the board now?
No. I was just seeing if I found like one screw that was just like ridiculously long, but the rest of them are all short.
Oh, okay. Well, it's about that time to go in a little 10-minute Q&A session before we wrap up class today. Family Games, if you're streaming your Roy Clark cocktail table today, start setting up your stream now.
The entertainer.
We can raid you. We were
That's
going to
hella
raid
funny.
It Slip Pinball, but it doesn't look like he showed up to class. So we would love to send everyone over to Family Games after this to a little hangout session. And so Q&A means if you have, oh my gosh, what are we looking at here?
This is probably why the GI wasn't working on the back.
No, it was all burnt and crispy.
Yeah, this one got, well, this is a byproduct of not changing games to LEDs. So you'll burn up your GI connector on this game. The GI general illumination comes through the auxiliary power supply, right? This is high voltage. This is 512 ground. I don't remember. I don't want to say anything wrong. I'm pretty sure the GI comes out through here. Or no, maybe it all comes through the auxiliary board. That's what it is. But what happens is these things burn up, but since you do have 2 strings of GI going through your insert relay, this will also burn up at the same time. So that's what happened here. Someone tried to repair it, but it looks like crap. I'll see if I can fix it before next show. Should be pretty easy.
Do you fix it or just replace it completely?
It's fixable.
burnt.
So instead of wasting money on something new, I'm just going to fix it. But
Can we see that on the show?
yeah, I mean, we could. It's a little boring, but we could poke around with it. It's not wasting money in the sense
How do
that
you fix
if you
it?
don't know how to do it, just get a new board. But we just gotta check and see what's not working. Someone tried, all the pads melted off of the for this connector, so someone tried to bridge them. But what I'm suspecting is that these just aren't very solid. We could have dirty contacts on the relay also, so we'd want to top off the relay. Anyways, all pinball machines are broken. They all need to be fixed.
And Vin says, fixing things like that is not what you want customers to do. Well, yeah, maybe, but we want everyone to be self-sufficient, right?
Yep.
The most important thing is to keep pinball alive, no matter what.
But when you have a situation like this, don't throw it away. Keep it, sell it at a swap meet, because I'd much rather buy a bunch of bad ones of these for $2 and spend 20 minutes fixing them than, throwing them in the garbage. So, I guess
one man's junk is another man's treasure.
what we
So
strive
if anyone
for,
has any other questions for Kyle,
we strive to
not
let
necessarily
everyone
related to roller games,
work
now's
on their
the time
games.
to
Let
ask him.
me say this real quick. Just we try to give like a good blend between everyone, right? Because there's people like me that will fix everything. I don't want to replace things if I can fix it. But if someone can't fix it, we want to make sure that they have the opportunity to also fix their game the way they know how to do it, which might be replacing something, which is totally fine. But I like to fix things. It's in my blood.
That'd be my route. I would be like, okay, where do I buy the replacements?
No,
Okay,
you send
adding
it to
my
me
cart.
and we fix it. Can I get
Leaf
this
Carrot
one?
wants to know, what's the most bootleg DIY fix-it you've ever seen?
My
a good
favorite
one.
one I've ever done was the Attack from Mars I worked on at Free Gold Watch in San Francisco. Had the drop target reset for the saucer in the middle. It broke. It's a little finger that goes underneath the drop target, and then a solenoid pulls it up, and I didn't have one, and I needed to get the game working. So I took a key, and I reamed out the hole in the key so I could fit the screw through it, and then I cut the key down to length, and I made one out of a key. And I put it on my calendar to say, fix this next time you're at Free Gold Watch. And I forgot. And it was working like 2 years later the exact same way. So
you were the bootleg DIYer.
oh yeah. Hey man, when it's Friday night and you got to fix a game, it's not worth its space if it's not earning money. So
Absolutely. Yes, Jay Zuno. Every Thursday at 3 p.m. is our PinTech Live class.
yes.
Thanks for joining us today. Please come back next week. And we always try to do some pinball repair. Whoa, did you see that? My virtual screen just flashed. Sometimes we stream over the weekend. This various pinball repair stuff that Kyle's working on. And we're starting to do Tuesday nights, Marco After Hours, where some of the awesome Marco employees all get together and battle on some of these games.
Play some pinball. Yeah, I guess
so
today
we work
wasn't.
on the game. We put it in Marco After Hours so they can play it. So hopefully, Roller Games will be in After Hours soon.
Yeah.
And then Dalton, who's in the chat, can remind you guys all the rules and how to get the highest scores possible because he's really good at that.
Dalton's always helping us with every game we play. This week wasn't so much school. This was just watch Kyle fumble around and find the right screws. But I think it's symbolic
We learned
because
some
we
good
finished
tips.
the first game that we started working on. So I'm
Yeah.
glad it's almost
wait.
there.
Just because I'm proud of how far we have come so far. Look at this is what our very first episode looked like.
It didn't look that bad.
We're in one of Kyle's spare bedrooms. We tacked black sheets up.
My cell phone
Now we have a
overheated.
studio.
And
Better cameras. I'm a lot smaller, which is probably nicer. We were all so young. We didn't have any wrinkles or gray hairs. Now we're just like,
what month is it? It's August. So
I
that
don't
was
know.
5 months ago.
It's almost September,
Oh
actually.
my gosh. 6 months ago. Ay.
Oh, Mike Kunzelman just wanted to say thanks. Got the flippers rebuilt and the lower half of Attack from Mars rubbers replaced. Trying to get brave enough to tear apart the top half and get to those.
You
We
can do
believe
it.
in you.
You can do it. Just take your time, and you can totally
Yep.
do it. There's nothing on there, and the
Patience.
fun thing about Attack from Mars is there's nothing on that
pictures.
game that you can break that you can't replace. So Just take your time, be careful, and if you break it, just buy a new one. Unlike this game, where if you break something, you'll probably cry a little bit. So this thing looks pretty good. I'm stoked to have a new ramp in here. It's going to play really slick, I think. I'm really excited to play it. I just wish I had those dang screws. I'm going to spend an hour tomorrow like getting all of the hardware I need so we don't run into this problem again.
Yes, that would be great. And yes, we are going to do the NVRAM install next week.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys are excited as I am for that.
I'm nervous.
And let's see. Any advice on having to remove a whole bunch of stuff just to replace a bulb?
Nope. Suck it up and do it. It sucks, but it happens sometimes,
Put
man.
some good music on.
Yeah.
Step one.
Let me guess. It's
Eat some food before you start so you don't get hangry in the process. Stay hydrated.
Is it the 8-ball deluxe light where you have to take the entire drop target bank out to replace one light? Because if so, I feel you, man. That sucks. That's brutal.
Roller Pinball said, looking to pick up a project for more pinball repair practice, but don't know where to start finding projects. Any suggestions? Located in Northwest Indiana.
Friends, that's the best place you're going to get something where you probably won't get ripped off. If you have like a local pinball club or a local group, that's probably the best place to start looking. You're going to find someone who won't just want to get the highest price for something. You've got this like Pawn Stars problem where like everyone that's walked onto everyone that goes on eBay and sees someone listing a 8-ball deluxe for $20,000, they automatically think that the game they have in their garage is worth 20 grand. So I wouldn't suggest like Craigslist or Facebook to be like the best place, but if you have a buddy that's got a game and it's like, yeah, it kind of works, but you need to do this and that and this, you'll probably get a better deal. It's tough times right now. Everyone thinks their pinball machine's worth its weight in gold, so finding projects is harder and harder for an affordable price. I guess some tips is like don't overpay, and there's always more out there. I would not pay more than $1,000 for a game that doesn't work. I don't care what it is. You're going to run into hassles and problems, and you might end up paying out as much as the game is worth just to get the thing working. So, yeah, keep emotion out of it.
Yeah, and hey, it's me, Dusty. That pesky bulb. It's at the top lane lights on Space Station.
Ooh. Yeah, that game's a pain in the butt to work on. Space Shuttle's like a dream, but Space Station, that's got some problems. Just, man, be slow and methodical, and you can do it, and it's going to be totally worth it when it's done. And maybe replace it with an LED so you never have to go back in there and replace those big annoying lamps again.
That's what other people in the chat are saying. Black Cat Pinball 1 says, remember that a lot of GI on WPC games can be changed from under the playfield.
Yeah, even System 11 games. Most of the late System 11 games to the WPC ones are easy. But again, do it with the power off, unless you're really, really careful, know what you're doing, because you'll blow a lot of GI fuses.
So that's good advice. We've been doing this. Jay Zuno asked, how long have we been doing the show? Since March. This is our 19th episode, so our 19th week.
Yep, a 19th official episode. We've done some cheater ones.
It's all blurred together. Yes, we've done a lot more streams than that, but this is our 19th official episode. And how do I say your name? Crash Stint 20 on Twitch asked, would you change Atom Family to Optoboard switches?
What do you mean? The I guess it depends on what you're talking about, but I don't think there's any opportunity for you to change. I mean, what, the flipper buttons? Did Adam's Family still? No, Adam's Family used opto flippers.
For the flippers, maybe?
I think Adam's Family used opto flippers.
For the flippers.
I don't remember if it used opto. Honestly, no. It just used, oh no, they do use leaf switches. It wasn't until the Fliptronic 2 that they used optos. No, it's not worth it. The switch, it's what you have works and they work great, so I wouldn't mess with it at all. You'll find new problems with the opto boards. I think maybe the wiring might be there for the optos, but I think from the factory they all use leaf switches. I don't remember.
Dakota Mike says he prefers leaf switches.
Yeah, I prefer leaving things the way they are because that's how they're intended to work. The opto boards are fine and all, but it's just it's not worth your time to swap it out. The leaf switches are simple and they work, you know?
Right.
In my opinion.
Well, everybody, it's been a great hour-and-a-half show that has extended over 20 minutes as per usual. This is supposed to be an hour-and-a-half show. You guys are killing me.
No, you guys are making me happy because I get to do fun stuff for 2 hours every week.
2-hour show. Let's make it a 3-hour show. Sometimes our Marco After Hours, if you ever come hang out with us on Tuesday nights, Kyle, and you start talking to Kyle in the chat, man, he'll stay up all night with you. Elusive Ninja knows. They'll just go on and on.
You want a personal Kyle.
But thanks everyone for joining us today. We'll see you next Thursday. Don't forget that you have a few more days to enjoy that coupon code. It's all capital letters, PinLabor, and that'll get you free shipping. You save $10 instantly for orders over $99. And for everyone on Twitch, we're going to raid Family Games after Kyle gives us his one last note.
Yeah, here, if y'all need something to throw in your cart, again, you always need pinballs, right? You always need random rubbers. Buy a bunch of 2 and 2.5 inch rubbers for your slingshots. Buy more flipper rubber. Why not? It's like keep it in a cool, dark place, and it'll be great. Yeah, buy pinballs. Buy screws. Just buy them. You need them. There's some of your screws on your game are going to look ugly, and you might want to replace them. Get some screws. Get some washers. Get that assorted kit. Get Novus. Always have Novus around. That's it.
Yeah, all these things I just added to my cart too. New balls, gotta have clean balls.
Even if you only have one game, you know.
New rubbers, gotta have clean rubbers.
Just because I have a bazillion games doesn't mean you don't need to keep a couple extra things around. It's handy. And then you don't need to wait to order parts because you just, my slingshot rubber broke. Here's another one. You're good.
Yeah, Sean Cannon brings up a very good episode idea. I would love to see that too. A Johnny Mnemonic hand rebuild.
Yeah, that's easy.
Claw.
But someone needs to bring me a Johnny Mnemonic. I love that game. It's such a pain in the butt, but it's a really cool mechanism. It's incredible the way that they use those weird screws to move it around the axes. It's incredibly complicated, but it's fun.
Yep. Well, okay, guys, we are going to Family Games. We'll see you in the chat room over there. They're actually showing inside of the cock table pin. So yeah.
The cock table pin? What?
That sounds awesome. Clean your balls and let's go watch the cocktail
table pin. Huh.
See it. Bye, everybody.
That was hilarious.